A very good morning, students, and please take care of yourself. Uh, the situation is very worse. The Today in Banaras, almost the 90 cases were found. So take care of yourself. Be protected. Be safe. And I just hope all of you happy and healthy. We are doing chapter 4, the psychological disorders, in which we had already done the introduction, and in previous video we had completed the concept of abnormality, the 4 Ds, and the historical background, and last topic of previous classes, the classification of psychological disorder, which is ICD-10 and the DSM-4. And in this video we will start from the factor analyzing underlying abnormal behavior. Factor underlying abnormal behavior, that means the causes of abnormality, or you can say the causes behind the abnormal behavior. Okay, so in this there are so many approaches, so many theories which will be explain the concept of the abnormality. Okay, so let's look at the concept first. In order to understand something as complex as abnormal behavior, psychologists used different approaches, and each approach is used today emphasizes a different aspect of human behavior and explain and treat abnormality in line with that aspect. So these approaches also emphasize the role of different factors such as biological, psychological, and interpersonal and socio-cultural factors. So we will examine some of the approaches which are currently being used to explain abnormal behavior. That means the approaches are basically different in nature. They explain the abnormal behavior in a different line, different manners, and each of approach their own view, their own phenomena, their own techniques to assess the abnormal behavior. Okay, so our basically we will classify the all factors, all theories, all approaches in the three broader category. First one is a biological factor, then the genetic factor, and the psychological factor. In psychological factor there are so many models. For example, the psychodynamic, behavioral, cognitive, humanistic, existential, and the socio-cultural model, and the last model is the some different model. Okay, I think diathesis stress model. Okay, so let's start from the biological factors. Okay, biological factors, that means a factor which is related to biological functioning, physiological functioning. In chapter in class 11 you had already studied about the neurons, the nervous system, how the biological basis how the biology is responsible for our behavior, and what are the bases of our behavior, what are the biological bases of our behavior. So in this section, the biological factors influence all aspects of our behavior. A wide range of biological factors such as faulty genes and endocrine imbalance, malnutrition, injuries, and other conditions may interfere with normal development and functioning of the human body. Then these factors may be potentially caused of abnormal behavior. We have already come across the biological model. According to this model, abnormal behavior has a biochemical or a physiological basis. Biological researchers have found that psychological disorders are often related to problem in a transmission of message from one neuron to another neuron. In class 11 you had already studied about the concept of neuron, the structure of neuron, and the function of neuron, and the transmission, how the neuron is basically work, how the message is transmitted to one part of the neuron to another, and how the information is traveled or the conducted by the one neuron to another neuron. So this concept is known as synaptic transmission. The gap between the two neurons, the pre-neuron and the post-neuron, the gap between these two neurons is known as the synaptic cleft, and the transmission which perform between these two neurons is known as synaptic transmission, which is chemical in nature. So these chemicals form जो ये chemical होता है basically, this is known as neurotransmitter, a chemical substance which is potentially carry the information from one neuron to another neuron, from pre-neuron to post-neuron. This chemical substance is basically known as neurotransmitters. Let's look at the text first. So neuron to another. So you have studied in class 11 that a tiny space called synapse separate one neuron from the next, and the message must move across that space. When an electrical impulse reaches a neuron's ending, that's mean the terminal buttons, the nerve ending is stimulated to release a chemical called a neurotransmitters. And study indicates that abnormal activity by certain neurotransmitters can lead to specific psychological disorders. For example, anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorder basically responsible इसके लिए जो responsible है, this is the GABA. GABA, that's been the neurotransmitter. The full form of GABA is a gamma aminobutyric acid. The short form is GABA. So this is इसका जो हमारा low activity होती है, अगर ये low that means the less amount में ये release होता है by a pre neuron, then this is responsible for the anxiety disorder. ठीक है. Now second example दे सकते हैं schizophrenia. Schizophrenia में basically देखा गया है the dopamine neurotransmitter is basically responsible for schizophrenia, and excessive activity of dopamine. Basically dopamine control the imagination, control the intellectual functioning, for example the attention, arousal, perception, and when the excessive amount of dopamine is released, then definitely the person feel delusion and hallucination. These are the basic symptoms of schizophrenia. That's why the excessive activity of dopamine is responsible for the schizophrenia, which is a very major mental disorder. It is considered as a psychotic mental disorder. And next example is for example serotonin. Serotonin is also known as the happy hormone or the happy neurotransmitter. Okay, serotonin की जो हमारी release होती है, this is basically responsible for our mood, for our happiness, sadness. जो emotions में imbalance होता है, this is due to serotonin neurotransmitter, and the low activity of serotonin, that means the less release of the serotonin, less amount releases serotonin, is responsible for depression. Okay. So these are the few examples. So many other neurotransmitters are also here in biological section, and all are responsible for a specific kind of behavior, and also responsible for a specific kind of abnormal behavior also. So this proven that according to studies, according to researchers, the biological factors, the neurotransmitters, the imbalance in hormones, and the faulty genes, these factors are basically responsible for our abnormal behavior. That's mean every abnormal behavior has a root cause, and the cause is basically a biological cause, imbalance in a hormone or imbalance in a neurotransmitter, or you can say the malnutrition, the insufficient function of immune system, insufficient function of your brain psyche. Okay, so these are type of things are basically discussing in a biological section. This is all about the biological factor. Let's move on to the genetic factor. The genetic factor is basically considered in a biological factor, but still the genetics is separated from the biology and discussed in a separate section. Let's look at the genetic factor. In genetic factor, the basic concept is that the diseases, the disorders are basically transmitted to one generation to another generation in the form of genetic transmission. That means a faulty gene or a group of faulty gene is responsible for abnormal behavior, and this is transmitted to one generation to another. Okay, that means the researchers are basically prove that when a family member is affected by a single kind of disorder, they are suffering from the particular disorders, then definitely the next generation has a chance to develop this disorder again. So the family history as like a physical disorders, for example diabetes है, hypertension है, thyroid है, these are the genetic disorders. अगर आपके फादर को, आपके ग्रैंडफादर को डायबिटीज़ है तो बहुत ज़्यादा चांसेस है कि आपको भी डायबिटीज़ हो. And so this is the genetic factor. So as it is in psychology, the mental disorders, the abnormal behavior or the disorders are basically related to the genetic factor. So genetic factors have been linked to bipolar and related disorder, basically the mood disorder, the bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, intellectual disabilities, and you can say the other psychological disorders, for example, anxiety also, depression also. So researchers have not, however, been able to identify the specific genes that are the culprit. In it appears that in most cases, so no single gene is responsible for a particular behavior or a psychological disorders. ठीक है, स्टडीज़ जो हैं, हम इस फील्ड में जो रिसर्चेज हैं, ये प्रूव करती हैं कि येस डेफिनेटली द जीन्स इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ डिसऑर्डर्स, बट a single gene is not responsible for. The studies cannot be find that the single gene, a specific gene which is culprit, and this is responsible for disorder, rather than the a group of gene basically responsible for that behavior. In detail, it appears that in most cases no single gene is responsible for a particular behavior or a psychological disorders. In fact, many genes combine to help bring about our various behaviors and emotional reactions also. So both functional and dysfunctional, although there is sound evidence to believe that genetic biochemical factors are involved in mental disorder as diverse as schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and so on. So but important thing is here, the genetic factor and the biological factor, these are two basically in a single category, and these two factors is basically cannot be defined. Mental disorders cannot be a single cause of mental disorder, cannot be um, explain or the account the most mental disorders basically, but biological alone cannot account for most mental disorders. Okay, so that's why the need of the psychological factors, psychological issues, psychological models, so which can be suggest the emphasis on the environmental factors and psyche related factors. Psychology, that means something which is not physical. Okay, so except the genetic and the biological factor, there is some other factors, some other causes also responsible for mental imbalance and the development of the psychological disorders. These other causes are known as psychological models or the psychological you can say approach. So there are several psychological models which provide a psychological explanation of mental disorders. These models maintain that psychology and interpersonal factors have a significant role to play in abnormal behavior. These factors include maternal deprivation, for example, maternal deprivation, that means the separation from the mother in a very early childhood, or lack of warmth and stimulation during early year of the childhood, early year of the life, and faulty parenting style, faulty parent child relationship, for example, rejection, overprotection, over permissiveness, faulty discipline, etc., and maladaptive family structures, okay, inadequate families or the disturbed families, and severe stress. These are the psychological causes, psychological factors which are responsible for abnormal behavior and ultimately the psychological disorders. So these factors, these model are divided into so many टाइप्स और सो मेनी ग्रुप्स. आपको अगर रिमेंबर हो तो अपने 11th में चैप्टर 1 में स्कूल्स ऑफ साइकोलॉजी पढ़ा था. देर आर सो मेनी फील्ड, सो मेनी स्कूल्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्ट्रक्चरिज्म, फंक्शनलिज्म, बिहेवियरिज्म एंड गेस्टाल्ट साइकोलॉजी, कॉग्निटिव साइकोलॉजी, ठीक है, कंस्ट्रक्टिविज्म, ह्यूमनिज्म. So these are the schools of psychology basically viewed a single type of behavior in their own way. They explain a single behavior in their own way, in their own point of view, in their own philosophy. So basically, according to that, the single behavior, that's mean the abnormal behavior, is also explained by the group of psychologists in a different manners. So the models are basically psychodynamic model, the behavioral model, the cognitive model, the humanistic existential model, and the socio-cultural model. And a new term is a new model which is recently developed, that is the diathesis stress model. Okay, so let's look at these models one by one, and how it explain the behavior of the abnormal person. Let's look at first model, psychodynamic model. That means this is basically derived from the psychoanalytical theory, which is given by Sigmund Freud, who is a very well known, a famous psychologist, and at the same time very ancient psychologist, the first psychologist who is basically explain the psychological concept in a very technical, in a very scientific way. Okay, so according to Sigmund Freud, the psychological model is given, and according to this, the abnormal behavior is causes of the abnormal behavior is basically the intra-psychic conflict. They believe the internal psyche, that means our internal forces which is responsible for our own behavior, a normal or the abnormal, both kind of behavior is controlled or the conducted by the internal psychic forces. And when these forces are not proper in manner, they are starting a conflict between each other. So these are basically contradictory. So these type of things are basically develop the abnormal behavior or the problems in individuals. Let's look at the detail. Psychodynamic model is the oldest and most famous of the modern psychologist models. You have already read about the model in chapter 2 on self and personality. Remember the psychodynamic model? Then psychodynamic theorist believes that behavior, whether normal or abnormal, is determined by psychological forces. The intrapsychic forces is psychological forces. So within the person of which he or she is not consciously aware. Basically these forces are work in an unconscious level. These are the individual is never be aware about these forces and the forces of the psyche. Okay, so these internal forces are considered dynamics. Okay, you already studied about the dynamics of the personality, and that's mean the id, ego, and the superego, and the levels of or the, you can say, the structure of the personality, which is conscious, unconscious, and subconscious. So that is the dynamics. That means that is they interact with one another, and their interaction gives shape to behavior, thought, and emotions. Abnormal symptoms are viewed as the result of conflict between these forces. This model was first formulated by Freud, who believed that three central forces shape personality. These three are, first one is the instinctual need. Instinctual need, that means the related to the instinct. This is the drive or the impulses of id. And the second is rational thinking, which is the controlled by the ego, and the moral standard, that's with the superego. So Freud states that abnormal behavior is a symbolic expression of unconscious mental conflicts that can be generally traced to early childhood or infancy. The role of early childhood is very important according to Freud, and the experiences of the early childhood or the infancy is basically responsible for abnormal behavior and basically responsible for arising the mental conflicts. Okay, now this is all about the psychodynamic theory. Basically abnormal symptoms is are viewed as the result of conflict between the psychological forces and which we are consciously unaware of. These forces are working in an unconscious level, and it is the expression of unconscious mental conflict that can be generally traced to early childhood or infancy. This is the first model. Let's look at the second model, which is behavioral model. So our second model is behavioral model or behavioral approach. As you know, the behavioral approach is basically based on the learning principles, and he believed that the individual behavior is basically a learned behavior from their experiences and from their formal learning. Okay, so learning is important point in a behavioral model, and this belief is as we learn the normal behavior, as the same manner we learn the abnormal behavior. The difference these two is only that the normal behavior is an adaptive behavior and the abnormal behavior is a maladaptive behavior or the नॉट वेल एडेप्टिव बिहेवियर. ठीक है, सो हम जिस तरह से एज इट इज़ हम नॉर्मल बिहेवियर लगते हैं, सेम मैनर में सेम स्टेप्स में हम एब नॉर्मल बिहेवियर भी लर्न करते हैं. द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज टू आर अडेप्टेबिलिटी एंड maladaptability. Okay, and the second important point is here is that as we learn behavior in the same manner we अनलर्न द बिहेवियर. जिस तरह से हम उसे लर्न कर सकते हैं सेम उसी मैनर में हम उसे अनलर्न भी कर सकते हैं. दिस इज पॉसिबल अकॉर्डिंग टू बिहेवियरल मॉडल. Let's look at the model in detail. So another model that emphasizes that the role of psychological factor is the behavioral model. This model states that the both normal and abnormal behavior are learned and psychological disorders are the result of learning maladaptive way of behaving. The model concentrates on behavior that are learned through conditioning and proposes that what has been learned can be unlearned. So learning can take place by classical conditioning, that means the temporal association between two stimulus or the two events, and the operant conditioning, that means the behavior is followed by a reward or the feedback, and the social learning by imitating others behaviors. So these are the three important learning principles, three theories which is basically explain the whole phenomena of learning and how we learn, explained by these theories: the classical conditioning, the operant conditioning, and the social learning theories. And you had already studied about these three theories in detail in a class 11th in a chapter 6. Okay, I remember that. Okay, so basically these theories explain that the behavior is learned in a same manner. The maladaptive behavior is basically responsible for abnormal behaviors, and these three type of conditioning account for behavior whether adaptive or maladaptive. So this is whole concept of behavioral model. Abnormal behavior are learned and psychological disorder are the result of learning maladaptive behavior of learning. Okay, and it concentrate on behavior that are learned and can be unlearned. And learning can be take place by classical operant conditioning and the social learning theories. Okay, so this is all about the behavioral model. Let's look at our next model, which is cognitive model. So basically cognitive model is emphasized on our thinking pattern, on our reasoning, on our mindset, how we think. Okay, the cognitive part is in a center of a cognitive model. So psychologist factor are also emphasized by the cognitive model. This model states that abnormal functioning can result from cognitive problems. People may hold assumptions and attitudes about themselves that are irrational and inaccurate. So people may also repeatedly think in illogical ways and make overgeneralizations. So that is, they may draw broad negative conclusions on the basis of a single insignificant events. That means our mind, our thinking pattern, irrational thinking, illogical thinking, these are the responsible for mental problems. We frame a assumption and we follow that assumption in our whole thinking patterns. So this is basically a root cause of psychological disorders according to cognitive models. Okay, now let's look at the next model, which is humanistic and existential model. Let's look at again the cognitive model. Cognitive model basically believe that the problems can result from cognitive problems. ठीक है, cognitive level पे ही problems arise होती है. People may hold assumptions and attitude about themselves. वो अपने बारे में कुछ attitudes, कुछ assumptions बना लेते हैं, कुछ schemas set कर लेते हैं, and themselves that are irrational and inaccurate, which are basically illogical. ठीक है, वो logical नहीं होते, irrational रहते हैं, inaccurate रहते हैं. These are the only fake, or you can say the imaginary. Okay, and people may also repeatedly think in illogical ways and make overgeneralization, that is, they may draw broad negative conclusions on the basis of a single insignificant levels. That means the cognitive thinking is responsible for the in a negative direction. Cognitive thinking, irrational thinking, illogical thinking is responsible for abnormal behavior. Now second model is humanistic and existential model. Let's look at the model. Basically these two are separate models. but the views are so much similar. That's why these two models are considered in the same category. These are very small models. Humanistic, that's been the a branch of group of psychologists who believe that in humanism, the group basically the founder of the humanism is Abraham Maslow and the Carl Rogers, whose idea is very popular in humanism. Okay, so another psychological model is the humanistic and existential model, which focus on broader aspect of human existence. Humanists believe that human beings are born with a natural tendency to be friendly, cooperative and constructive, and are driven to self-actualize, that is to fulfill this potential for goodness and growth. अकॉर्डिंग टू अब्राहम मैस्लो, आपने अपने ऑलरेडी 11th में वो थ्योरी पढ़ रखी है उनकी, सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन वाली, द मॉडल ऑफ नीड हायरार्की थ्योरी. ओके, so on this basis there is the concept of self actualization, which means the expression of their own self, fulfillment of their own feelings, and fulfillment for their potential for the goodness and the growth. This is the concept of self actualization. So basically जो individuals होते हैं उनमें इननेट फोर्सेस होती हैं, इननेट उनमें कुछ टेंडेंसीज होती है, कुछ फोर्सेस होती है, कुछ उनकी इननेट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक होती है. दीज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आर बेसिकली फ्रेंडली, कोऑपरेटिव, कंस्ट्रक्टिव. मतलब वो इनबॉर्न इन सारे फोर्सेस से गवर्न होते हैं. ये कुछ ड्राइव्स होती हैं, कुछ इंस्टिंक्ट होती है जो उन्हें इन फोर्सेस के लिए इस टाइप के बिहेवियर के लिए फोर्स करती हैं, अंदर से उन्हें ड्राइव इन करती हैं. दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ह्यूमनिज्म. सो एग्जिस्टेंशियल बिलीव दैट from birth we have total freedom to give meaning to our existence or to avoid that responsibility. Those who shrink from this responsibility would live empty, inauthentic and dysfunctional lives. That means अब जब हम born होते हैं तो this is in my hand, this is in their own hand कि वो अपनी लाइफ में रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लें, अपने एग्जिस्टेंस को प्रूव करें, अपने एग्जिस्टेंस को एक्सप्लोर करें या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से स्केप करें और एक ऐसे माइंडसेट में पहुँचे जहाँ पे वो एम्प्टी और इन ऑथेंटिक और यू कैन से द डिसफंक्शनल लाइफ्स को सर्वाइव करें, डिसफंक्शनल लाइफ को जिएं. So basically in their hand, according to existential model, every individual is internally motivated or the internally directed towards the you can say the existence, the knowing their existence in direction. Okay, so this is the concept of existential model, and these two theories basically believe that the abnormal behavior is a cause when we are not self-actualized. There is any barriers in self-actualization. The humanistic perspective says that when there is a barrier in self-actualization, when we not self-actualize in an effective manner, this is responsible for abnormal behavior. When our needs are not fulfilled, then we develop the abnormal behavior. And according to existential model, when we perceive a wrong existence of our life, a wrong existence or the less important existence, then we develop the abnormal behavior. This is the belief of humanistic and the existential model. Let's look at another model, which is the socio-cultural model. So this is very clear. Socio-cultural models is basically believe that the human behavior are basically occurring in a socio-cultural context, and सेपरेट करके बेसिकली किसी बिहेवियर को उसके सोशियो कल्चरल कॉन्टेक्स्ट से सेपरेट करके स्टडी नहीं किया जा सकता. किसी भी बिहेवियर को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए उसका सोशियो कल्चरल, द सोशल फिनोमिनाज, फॉर एग्जांपल द वॉर, द वायलेंस, द ग्रुप प्रेजुडिस, द डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, इकोनॉमिकल imbalance or economical changes, the unemployment or the employment related problem or the rapid social change is basically leads to stress, and this stress is basically responsible for our mental disorders. So leads to psychological problem in some individuals. So according to the socio-cultural model, abnormal behavior is best understood in light of the socio and the cultural forces that influence an individuals. As behavior is shaped by societal forces, then factors such as family structure and communication, social network, societal conditions and societal labels and roles become more important, and it has been found that certain family systems are likely to produce abnormal functioning in individuals members. Some families have an emphasized structure in which the members are over involved in each other activities, thoughts and feelings. So children from these kind of families may have difficulty in becoming independent in life. So the broader social network is which people operate include their social and professional relationship. Studies have shown that people who are isolated and lack social support, that is strong and fulfilling interpersonal relationship in their lives, are likely to become more depressed and remain depressed longer than those who have good friendship, socio-cultural good friendship or the good social support network. So socio-cultural theorists also believe that abnormal functioning is influenced by the societal labels and roles against to trouble people. So when people break the norms of their society, they are called deviant or the mentally ill. That's mean एक पर्टिकुलर कल्चर में एक सोसाइटी में उनके कुछ पर्टिकुलर नॉर्म्स होते हैं, एंड व्हेन द पीपल दे डोंट नॉट follow their norms, they break their norms or they break their ethics, so definitely they can consider as a abnormal or the mentally ill person. And at the same time, the importance of social network, importance of social connections, the communication, the role of social system is important. If the system is not important, the society is not consider an individual as an important person, then the people is develop the different kind of disorder, for example depression. So this is all about the socio-cultural model. So in this video we had studied about the different factors that underlying the abnormal behavior, that's mean the different causes. So according to biological factors, the genetic factor and the psychological factor, and in psychological factor we had completed the psychodynamic perspective, behavioral perspective, cognitive perspective, humanistic and existential perspective, and the social cultural perspective. Now the last section, last theory is the diathesis stress model, which we will discuss in detail in a next video, in a next session. Okay, so this is all about today videos. Okay class, thank you so much. Try to understand these concepts in a very less pressure. Okay, don't be pressurized yourself. Do your work in your own space, in your own speeds. Okay, okay class, thank you.